Hey, it's Yulinda Renee, your spiritual clinical counselor and sexual self-awareness coach with another episode of From Shadow to Sacred and Sex in the Raw. And I got my girl on the mic, Lynn Meyer, yes, published author, a thriving warrior, and healing, restoration, and transformation coach. Come to the mic, lady, and tell us more about yourself. Yes.
I love that. Like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking about? Me? I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Yulinda. I always want to start off just thanking you for your platform. Like, I love your podcast, and I'm so honored to be part, just to be a guest on your show. I am Lynn Meyer, and if you're not following me, why you not following me? Because I am the HRT coach. I am all about healing. I'm all about restoration. I'm definitely about transformation. And I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm dope. I'm sad. I'm happy. I'm all these things. But you must know, being here and being on, what is it? Sex in the Raw is what I call it. I am so excited.
Yes. Well, before we get into it, go ahead and tell us about this book. It's called No More What?
It is called No More. That's the title, but the subtitle is When Being a Victim of Sexual Abuse is No Longer an Option.
Yes. Yes. Well, tell us a little bit more about that. We'll jump on right there.
I will. Yeah. So what that's about is it is about my story, and my story, just a little bit snippet of that. My story is that my father sexually molested me when I was younger. And my mom knew about it because she was the one that prepared my body for my dad to molest me. And that's how that went. And it went on for several years. And I just felt like I needed to talk about it. I did a post just the other day, and I'm glad you talked about it. I did a post just the other day. I said, I did not expose to hurt them. I did it for my healing.
Yes.
And that's the reason why I wrote that book.
Yes. Yes. What was that journey like? Just writing it, just putting it on paper and committing to do that, and then publishing it for everyone to see. How was that?
It went through so many different feelings and emotions, from, oh my God, am I really doing it? From like me being hysterical to me being proud, to me being scared, to me being excited, to like all those things, because it is my truth. It's my story. It is real. And just putting it on paper and knowing anybody that wanted to support me, wanted to read about it, wanted to gift it to someone, was going to know what happened in that household. And I said, you know what, in order for me to heal, it's got to come out. And so that's what it looked like. But then going to publishing, it was more like surreal, like, this is really happening. Anybody can really pick this up at any time. Oh my God, am I really going to do this? And I said, you know what? Yeah, because what I realized, my story is not mine. It's hers, it's theirs, it's ours, it's all of us.
Yes.
And I'm bold in my voice. And if you're not bold in your voice yet, then let me be your voice for you. So it had to be published. And first of all, it had to be written. Then it had to be published, because people needed to know.
Yes.
They needed to know that they're not alone.
Exactly. And that's the whole point of us having these conversations, so people can see themselves in our stories, right?
Absolutely.
Well, tell me a little bit about the girl and her journey as she went through what she went through to get to the woman that you are now. I can only imagine how much of a journey that was for you.
That journey was, oh God, it was unpredictable, confusing, very a tumultuous time in my life. It was just like, no words can really be put to like what I went through.
Right.
And I know I'm not by myself, but it was more like, okay, I'm alone. I'm isolated. I should be protected. I'm not. I should be loved. I don't know what that is. So all of that. So I was very confused as a child. Like, who should I trust? Who should I love? Should I love somebody? Should I love myself? I don't know. So it was all of that. Went into teenage years, pretty much like, oh, well, kind of like myself, kind of love myself. Don't really know what that looks like. All of that, still confusion, but still kind of like learning who I was. And then becoming a woman and like, all right, so all of that, enough is enough. Learn out who you like literally learn who you are. What do you like? Who are you? Who is this person? Because you're not that child anymore that went through all that. So now you are this person. So that's what the journey pretty much looked like. It was like, confusion. I don't know. And then it's like, okay, do you really want to learn yourself? Do you want to know who you are? So these are the steps you got to do, or you got to start doing something to get to this person.
Yeah. So, there's so many ways we can go with this. How did it affect your ability to connect with other people? What did your relationships look like? Not just with, the opposite sex or whatever you're attracted to, but just in general, friendships, family, relationships. What did that look like?
So, and I just wanted to apologize because I was trying to get a little shine off my face again. So what that looked like, it was very confusing because it's like, is this a real relationship? I don't really know. And that was even with my family. Like, should I love you? Mommy and daddy? I mean, I thought they were supposed to love me. Should I love you? My brother, my sister? Like, do you love me? Are you going to treat me badly? Like, are you going to do something that's going to violate me too? I thought that with friendships. I'm like, should I trust you as my friend? Are you going to turn on me as well? And definitely romantic. It was like, I know I can't trust you because I didn't trust my dad. So you being a man, yeah, you're trash. So, and it affected personal business because I did not trust anyone. I did not trust anyone for a very long time because again, that's what I learned. I learned that people that say they love me or say they care for me cannot be trusted.
Exactly. Something has to change. And it's like, you hurting yourself. So, what's the difference? How are you going to begin to heal? And you start first by not hurting yourself. So as a woman, how did it affect how you showed up in your womanhood, in your sensuality, in your sexuality? What did that look like coming through this journey?
So first of all, how it was definitely a transition because in the beginning, I'll answer it this way. In the beginning, I didn't even know what all that was supposed to look like. So I was very fast. I was promiscuous. I put myself out there. I didn't really care about myself. Like, so I was just like hanging loose. So none of that really mattered. But then as time went on, it was more like, okay, this is really not working because you're looking at how you're showing up in these relationships. But then when I became a woman and I realized, I was like, okay, so now I'm more sensual in a way that I'm very respectful with my body, my clothing, how my energy I get off. Because I did not realize I could be more sexy with clothes on and wearing confidence. I wasn't aware of that. But before it was just like very like insecurity, trashy and all that. So that's how I showed up. But now being a woman, it was more like confidence and sexuality and like just being classy. And so that's how it went from there to that.
I know in my early 20s, my sexuality looked a lot like me thinking that sex was power. Right? I'm gonna put on a little titty tops, I'm gonna put on a little outfit, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna attract all the dudes. And the level of dude I was getting was like, girl, is this even what you want? Like, did you have any of that throughout your situation when you were early 20s, teens, all that good stuff?
Absolutely, because I was hanging loose. Like, I'm so glad, like, you and I had a conversation about this before we're bringing it to the podcast. Like, anybody could get it. Like, anybody could get it, and anybody did get it. So that's the thing. It was just like, I didn't care. Like, I would dress provocatively, and like the less clothes I had on, the more sexy I thought I was gonna look for other people. But I was really looking trashy. And yeah, sleeping with men and sleeping with women. And let me say it again for the people in the back. Sleeping with men and sleeping with women, like all of that. And the caliber of men and women I was sleeping with, I was just like, trash. But you know what? I was trash too. I was trash too. And I didn't understand why I was attracting these people because I was, as they say, you are who you attract.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I was trash. And it's not that I'm talking about myself. It's just like, I didn't care. And so the people I slept with, they didn't care either. And so, like you said, do I really want to be sleeping with these kind of men? I didn't. And I thought that was powerful for me too, because that's what I was taught at an early age. Use your body, just get what you want. But that's not what you're supposed to do. So yeah, just trash.
Yeah. So then how did you go from everybody can get it, and how long did that phase last? Was that a year, 2 years? Like, what did that look like?
Everybody was getting it ever since I was in college because I had my first consensual experience when I was 15. Okay. So the guy, he was a boyfriend of mine. He did not pressure me. He was just like, you want to have sex? Because I was hanging out with my niece that was having sex. And I was like, well, it was introduced to me when I was little. So yeah, I guess we're all supposed to have sex. So it wasn't like I felt like I had to. I was actually very comfortable with him. He was very comfortable with me. Neither one of us knew what we were doing. We were kind of like laughing. So that was good. But I didn't start having sex again until maybe junior year in high school, I think. That's when I started sleeping with women. So I think that's probably like when I started having sex again. But yeah, so that the period of being very promiscuous, at least 10 years. I did a lot of damage. Like, when people always talk about body count, and I can laugh at myself, like, I got some body count. Right. I got a body count. Like, seriously, like, yeah. It was bad when I think about it. It really was.
So how'd you come out of that? What did that look like? Was it like a phase that took a while to come out of, or what did that transition look like?
No, it wasn't a phase. It was more like, again, when I talked about you're dealing with these people that are trash. Do you still want to continue to do this going into being an adult? Like, because it was just too much. So I said to myself, okay, if you want a quality person, you want a quality man, because like I said, I slept with women, but I knew I wanted to be with a man. So if you want a quality man, then you can't be this type of person. You know the list that women have, like, I want him to be this, I want him to have this, I want him to have that. Well, I'm pretty sure the man that I needed for my life didn't want me to be a hoe.
Okay. So how did you go from the woman who was attracting trash to a woman who has attracted a man that you've been with for 10 years? That's what they want to know.
That's what they want to know. Take out your book, your pen, and your paper.
Yes.
No, seriously. I understood that in order for me to receive the love that I desired, and then I started to believe that I needed, when this man came into my life, I was like, this is too good to be true. Because he was every single thing that I desired, I knew I needed. So what the transformation for that, it was more like, if you don't get it together, you're going to lose this man, and he's going to be a good husband for somebody else. And I was like, oh God, can't do that.
Yeah.
I cannot do that. But I had to accept love for myself. Like, I had to start loving myself. I had to start liking myself. I had to start opening up to like possibilities and opportunities and those things that I had cut off.
Yes.
Like, literally all that time I was existing. I was never living. Never was I living. Ever. Until that changed, it was more like, all right, you keep talking about you want something different, but what are you doing different?
Right.
And so I had to do that. I had to like start working on myself. Like, I was very insecure, extremely insecure. I had to start working on myself in order to receive this man that God had for me. He wasn't going to give me this man, and I was still feeling like trash, and I was all messed up, and I'm insecure, and he was not. And he did not. So that's how that happened. It went from that to this, from this wonderful man, but I had to work on myself. And I know a lot of people are like, oh God, I knew that's what she was going to say. But you do.
And what does that look like? Because everybody say I have to work on myself, What does that mean? Like, what does that look like?
For me, it was just that. It was like I had to identify what was going on. When I talk like that about myself, like, oh my God, that was stupid, that was trash, whatever. It's not like I'm beating up on myself, even though those words sound very negative. I understand that, I get that, but that's an eye open for me. It's more like, girl, that's trash. Like, you are not trash. You are a queen. You are this. You're beautiful. You are not trash, and that's what it is. That's what it looked like to me. So I had to start taking away all that negative label, lies, all that was told upon me, to me, that I allowed to stay on me. I had to literally rip that shit off and be like, okay, in order for this to penetrate, all this positive stuff to penetrate, you got to get rid of that crap, because they're not gonna mix. It's gonna be like oil and water.
Yes.
One is gonna settle on top. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I had to do that. I went to counseling. Yeah, I'm a counselor, but I went to counseling.
That part.
Okay, come on now. Stop acting like Jesus. You got to pray it away. Now, somebody will be like, oh my God. Yes, I pray too.
Yes.
But I also know God made doctors. He made pastors. He made carpenters. He made electricians. He made counselors.
Yes.
Therapists. So if he can do all of that and you okay with going to a doctor to get medicine, go to a counselor and therapist and start working on your mental health. All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna get off that. So I had to do that as well. Okay. But then just knowing that I deserve more and start walking into that purpose, walking into like what I wanted to see for myself. And honestly, just really start knowing how to make friends, because I didn't know how to make friends. I was very popular. All of it sounds like I'm contradicting myself. I was extremely popular in high school. I was one of the class favorites, but I still didn't know how to make friends because my energy brought people to me all the time. I didn't know how to go and be a friend to somebody else because I didn't know how to be a friend to myself. And that's a word right there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And all of that, that's how I ended up with this man. That's how I ended up being in love. All that had changed. Now, whatever it is, work that you need to do for yourself is going to look different. Some of it may look similar to mine. It might, but you figure out what that is going to be for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Through your healing journey, because you said that it was your dad that was molesting you, it was your mom that was basically grooming you for him. How did you forgive? Like, what did that look like? Forgiving your mom, forgiving your dad, did you,
Yeah. So I realized that I had to forgive in order to heal. That was necessary for my healing, because to me, I feel like if you don't forgive, then you can't have the complete healing that you desire. Now, for my dad, I wasn't able to confront him because he had already been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and he was in a nursing home. So I felt like, this is going to be a waste. I don't even want to deal with that. But I confronted him through a letter when I was in counseling. And I wrote the most explicit, graphic letter. Like, I was like, you're a coward, you stupid bitch. Like, I was going off. I was like, how dare you touch me? Like, everything I wanted to say to him, had he been able to receive what I needed to say. So that was good. And after I read that, I was like, whew.
Yes.
Feel good. Like, I feel good. But I'm so grateful that I was able to talk to my mom, because my mom and I went in a car one day. And so she was like, talk to me, go ahead. I can, I'm not going to break. That's what she said. I'm not going to break. And I was like, oh, what's she talking about? But I knew what she was talking about. And I was like, oh, are we really ready to do this? Okay. And I just started just saying whatever. And it came out and it came out and it came out. And I was like, you should have protected me. You didn't protect me. And she sat there. This woman sat there. And she was like, I'm sorry. And I just like cried and cried and cried, because that's all I needed. Now, what I did not tell your viewers is that my mom did groom me, but my mom was being beaten by my father. And he tried to take her life on multiple occasions. So she was so confused and afraid of this man. She was like, I don't know what to do. Because she still had children at home that she needed to take care of. And like, if I go against him, is he gonna kill me? And if he kill me, then she gonna be there by herself, So I, now being an adult, now I understand.
Yeah.
God, like, forgiving and exposing, those words to me are not bad words.
Yes.
It's not a bad word that I forgive. It is not a bad word that I expose the secret.
Yes.
It is not. It was necessary for me to heal. So now, like, when people are like, oh, did you hear Lynn did such and such? Okay, yeah, that was chapter 2, page. I don't care.
Yes.
She was sleeping with. What I need to do, get the numbers right. See,
that's the power of owning your story. Because when you own it, can't nobody hold that shit over your head.
Nobody.
Yes.
And that is freedom.
Yes.
Like, that along with forgiveness is like, I sleep like a baby. I really do.
Where can the people find your book, what last words will you leave for the people? Come through with it.
Yes, come through. First of all, I did not say that. Let me plug myself yet again.
Please.
Thank you. Thank you, Yulinda. Yes, I do have a book called No More, but I also have an interactive journal that goes along with the book. So those people that say, oh my God, I wish you would have written a journal. I did. I went back and I listened to you.
Yes.
Okay. I went back and listened to you because there's things, like I said, it's not just my story.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many stories that look like mine. And I have questions that like chapter, question, chapter. So that's the interactive journal. I also have written a workbook that's called No More Excuses.
That's
Let's heal for real. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so you can find all that on Amazon. What you do, you type in No More Lynn Meyer, LYNNMEYER, and all three books come up. All three books come up. Or you can go to my website, which is www.lynnmeyer.com. Like, what else would it be?
Exactly. Yes.
So that's exactly where they can find the books and contact me.
And you coaching. So like, what does that look like? How do you
coaching.
work with people? Please tell us more. I want to hear all about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, you know, being in the field of mental health as the professional, there's other people that need your services too, that won't even think about coming to you for counseling. Right. So it's like, well, how do you help the people? Well, let's get into coaching. And what does that look like? And so coaching, to me, like when I want to explain to the people, counseling is more, it's long-term or it's longer than. But coaching is like, okay, you have this problem, let's deal with it, let's talk about it. So what coaching looks like to me with the healing is just like, okay, what's going on with your emotions? How are you dealing with your feelings? What are your coping skills? Are you acting out? Those type of things. And what can we do to fix those things or eliminate them or decrease them? That's what it looks like, because it's affecting everything else. It's affecting your marriage, it's affecting your children, it's affecting you on the job, all those things. So if we can get all those things checked or in check, then the other things in your life that you're missing out on or not as healthy can then start flourishing and you start seeing improvement. So that's how I would just sum that up a little bit.
Yes. So do you have any programs or anything coming out anytime soon that they can sign up for?
Thank you. You all these little things that you're talking about. Thank you. Yes, I do. Now, that's why that call is so important.
Yes.
Contact me because I do have a boot camp that's going to be coming up that will be dropping in March. So that's a couple of days from now. We're dropping. Then also I have a self-paced course that you can do too, because some people want to work on it by themselves, and then also you want to work, because you still have me in both. But the self-paced course is more, you have to call me and we figure out what you want to do, and that would be that. There's some other things. But the boot camp, you have me and you have others, and I have group teaching and tools and all of that. And it's just a wonderful thing. So those are the things that I have for you. Definitely if you're ready to work and you're ready to start healing. And I must say, the reason why I'm the HRT coach is because healing, restoration, and transformation are possible. It doesn't matter what the violation is. It doesn't matter what the trauma is. It doesn't matter what the hurt, the injury, all that. You can still heal from it. God can restore you in a manner that you never understood. And he can transform you into something that you never thought you could reach. It's just like the caterpillar to the butterfly. You have to go through this process. But he can do all of that for you. And so that's why I'm known for the HRT coach, because I've been through it personally, but I also understand it professionally, and I can help you either way.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So we know where to find the book. Where do we find you? Are you on Instagram, Facebook? Where can they find you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram as the HRT coach.
Okay.
And you can find me on Facebook, Lynn Meyer, LYNN, Meyer, MEYER. I am there. I am here for you. Those, reach out to me and let's connect.
Let's connect, y'all. Get healed, get transformed, get restored with the coach. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been another episode of From Shadow to Sacred, to Sex and the Raw with the coach. And we're going to see y'all on the flip. Bye.
Bye.